Hey everyone, today we're going to delve deep into lesser known facts of World War One, from soldiers turning gas masks into fashion statements into the miraculous Christmas truce that happened during the first year of World War One. We will explore the fascinating, unexpected stories that history books often overlook. Let's continue. All right, first up, we are looking at the Great Migration. The Great Migration was something that happened where many African Americans left the South in order to go to the North. They did this because of all the factory opportunities. By leaving the South and going to the North, this created a great shift within our country, and this made national headlines because of it. Most importantly, these African Americans did it for their families. Next up, we are probably going to look into the most known on this list, but the sinking of the RMS Lusitania. So in 1915, the Lusitania was sank by a German U boat. This caused outrage and anti German sentiment within the United States. This started to shift the mindset of the United States not wanting to enter the war to them deciding to help our allies without entering the war. This was considered a major turning point in the United States. The Selective
So
Service
the
Act of
s-
1917, this is considered
so the
America's
s-
draft day debut. So Uncle Sam
so
started
the
calling up
s-
millions of young men for the big show,
so
aka
the
World War
s-
One. We did this in order to create a
so
giant
the
military
s-
boot camp. We needed to fill the ranks to
so the
defeat
s-
the terrible Germans.
so the
This was
s-
Uncle Sam's way of turning
so the s-
America into a wartime power.
so the s-
Now, next up, we are meeting the Hello Girls. This is one that probably a lot of you have never heard of, but these pioneering women of World War One were the unsung heroes of communication, as they were fluent in many languages and operated the frontline telephone switchboards. These women ensured crucial messages reached the right ears without being intercepted. Their hello was more than just a greeting, it was a lifeline. The Hello Girls are the forgotten voices, and we hope that their voices will soon again be heard. All right, right before we get into the personalized gas masks, as you guys see, please make sure that you smash that subscribe button and comment on the video if you like what you're seeing or if you would like to see content similar to this. Next up, we are looking at personalizing gas masks. So, gas masks was essential for them, as gas was unfortunately something that was used all throughout World War One. In order for the troops to feel more at home, they would personalize their gas masks and make it into a fashion statement. They would do anything they could to feel at home, and personalizing a gas mask was one of the best ways they knew how to do it. Next up, we are looking at victory gardens, one of the ultimate necessities of World War One. As many of you know, during wartime, there is not much to go around, so every household had to dig gardens. It was seen as patriotic to be digging a garden in your backyard and to grow your own food. It was not just you, however, it was your neighbor, it was your grandma, it was the mayor. Everyone was doing their part in order to save rations. That way, everything could be sent overseas to the men fighting to save our country. Uncle Sam did not just call the shots, he took over the tracks as well. He decided it was best for the United States to take over the railroad industry in order to ship things such as food, materials, and people to where they needed to go. It was Uncle Sam's idea to do this, and this was one of the utmost important things of the war. If it had not been for the takeover of the railroad industry, many supplies, troops, and things of that nature would not have gotten to where they needed to be on time. Next, we are looking at the French heroes. So, American ambulance drivers were Americans who decided to go over to France before the United States had entered the war. They took and revved up their engines and decided to go through war torn Europe, especially that of France, in order to help the sick and the wounded. They did this because they felt that it was their duty to help out everyone involved who had been treacherously attacked by the Germans. These are the epitome of what an American is, somebody going overseas to help another without our country even being involved at this point. Next up, we are looking at the football truce, which brought German and British soldiers together. This was not just done on Christmas Day, like we will talk about, but this was done a few different times throughout the war, where fighting had become long and drawn out. They decided to call a truce for a day and instead play a match of soccer, or in their case, football. They did this in order to feel like normal people for a day. They shared laughter, they shared camaraderie, they made peace during this time. This was something that was unprecedented, yet it would happen more than once. And lastly, we are looking at the Christmas truce. Once again, possibly one of the most well known on here. The Christmas truce happened during Christmas Day of 1914. Both German and British soldiers put down their weapon and played a game of soccer in no man's land. Not only that, they exchanged gifts, they sing Christmas carols, they laughed. They did everything that they could to be normal for a day. They even got to know each other, and there are many stories written about people becoming friends during this time and therefore not wanting to fight. This was the ultimate idea of sacrifice, of stopping a war in order to be human for a day on such a religious occasion. I hope you guys have liked watching this. As I've said earlier in the video, if you did, just make sure that you smash that subscribe button. Tell me in the comments what you think of this stuff, and please let me know how you think I'm doing. Have a great day, you guys.